The escape pod drifted through the void like a dying ember against the star-speckled darkness. Inside, Captain Maya Chen's life support systems beeped their final warnings as her oxygen reserves reached critical levels. Her ship, the Endeavour, was nothing but scattered debris now, torn apart by the HFY assault 3 days ago. Maya's fingers traced the small data core containing the coordinates of 17 human colonies, information that could doom her entire species if it fell into enemy hands. She'd watched her crew die protecting those secrets, and now she was the last guardian of humanity's most vulnerable outposts. The alien vessel that intercepted her pod was unlike anything in the known databases. Sleek and organic, it moved with fluid grace through space. Maya's hand instinctively moved to her sidearm as the tractor beam pulled her aboard. But exhaustion and oxygen deprivation made resistance impossible. When the airlock cycled open, Maya found herself facing beings she'd never encountered before. They stood roughly human height but possessed crystalline skin that refracted light into prismatic patterns. Their large, multifaceted eyes regarded her with what she hoped was curiosity rather than hunger. Human, one of them spoke through a translation device, its voice like wind chimes. "I am Keeper Zethara of the Luminari. You are injured." Maya clutched the data core tighter. "Stay back, I won't let you." "We mean no harm," Zethara interrupted gently. "Your life signs are failing. Please allow us to help." Something in the alien's tone made Maya hesitate. These beings didn't carry themselves like conquerors or slavers. Their movements were careful, almost reverent. When Zethara extended a crystalline hand, Maya saw genuine concern in those prismatic eyes. "Why?" Maya whispered. "Because all life is precious," came the simple reply. The Luminary's medical bay was a wonder of bioorganic technology. As they worked to stabilize her condition, Maya learned about her rescuers. The Luminari were an ancient species, once numbering in the billions across dozens of worlds. Now, barely 10,000 remained on their dying homeworld of Lumthara. "We are the galaxy's gardeners," Zethara explained as Maya recovered. "For millennia we nurtured life wherever we found it. But the HFY came, and we were not warriors. We could not protect what we had cultivated." Maya's jaw tightened. "The HFY destroyed your worlds?" "Not destroyed, consumed. They drained the life essence from planets, leaving them barren. We saved who we could, but..." Zethara's crystalline form dimmed. "Our sun dies, and with it our people." Over the following days, as Maya regained her strength, she learned more about the Luminary's plight. Their technology was sophisticated, but purely defensive and nurturing. They had never developed weapons, never learned to fight. When the HFY swept through their territory like a plague of locusts, the peaceful Luminari could only flee. "You could have taken my data," Maya said one evening as she stood in the observation deck, watching their dying sun. "Those coordinates could have led you to habitable human worlds." Zethara joined her at the viewport. "We do not take. We only give. Even if it costs you your species? Especially then. What would we become if we sacrificed our principles? For survival?" Maya stared at this being who had saved her life expecting nothing in return, who chose extinction over compromise. She thought of her own species. Scrappy, aggressive, endlessly adaptable. Humanity had survived because they fought for every advantage, every scrap of territory, every breath of air. "There might be another way," Maya said quietly. When Maya's encrypted message reached Admiral Marcus Kane at Sol Defense Command, the response was immediate. Within weeks, the largest human fleet ever assembled jumped into the Lumthara system. Maya had shared everything: the Luminary's sacrifice, their dying world, and their desperate need. The HFY arrived 3 days later, drawn by the energy signatures of the human fleet. They came expecting easy prey, another species to harvest and consume. They found humanity instead. The battle was fierce, but brief. Human ships, designed for war and crewed by a species that had clawed its way up from planetary food chains, tore through the HFY swarm like wolves among sheep. When the alien fleet lay in ruins, Admiral Kane contacted Zethara directly. The immediate threat is gone. Kane's voice crackled over the comm. But Maya tells me you need more than just military protection. What followed was the largest humanitarian effort in human history. Colony ships arrived bearing atmospheric processors and stellar engineers. Human scientists worked alongside luminary biotechnicians to revitalize their dying sun. Entire fleets were dedicated to relocating luminary refugees to new worlds within human-protected space. I don't understand, Zethara said to Maya as they watched the first new luminary settlement being established on a fertile world in the Tau Ceti system. We saved one human. You brought salvation for our entire species. Maya smiled, her hand resting on the data core she'd once protected with her life, coordinates now freely shared to establish safe havens for both their peoples. You taught us something we'd forgotten in all our fighting and survival. Sometimes the greatest strength isn't in taking what you need, but in giving what you can. The luminary population began to grow again, their worlds becoming beacons of natural beauty under human protection. In return, they shared their biotechnology and their wisdom, helping humanity develop sustainable colonies that worked with planetary ecosystems rather than against them. Years later, when new threats emerged from the galactic core, it wasn't humanity alone that faced them. The Luminari stood beside them, not as warriors, for that was not their nature, but as healers and rebuilders, ensuring that whatever humanity fought to protect could flourish in the aftermath. They had saved a single human. Humanity had saved their species. But together they saved something far more precious, the idea that in a galaxy full of predators, there was still room for those who chose to nurture rather than destroy. And, sometimes, Maya reflected, that choice was what made all the difference.